Welcome to Crypto Disrupted. I'm your host, Trent Lipinski, and I'm here with the Greeneum team. We've got Asaf and Rodrigo. Welcome to the show, guys. Can you introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about what you're working on?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Asaf, and I'm the CEO and founder of Greeneum. And in Greeneum, we use the blockchain technology and combine it with AI and smart contract to solve the main challenges of the renewable energy market and to accelerate the transition from fossil fuels to clean energy sources. And we have here Rodrigo with me, which is a renewable energy expert from South America, from Argentina. And myself, I'm based out of Tel Aviv.
Hello, nice for the invitation for this program. It's nice to speak with you and the opportunity to explain what is Greeneum for us as beginner.
Yeah, so can you guys tell us, what you're working on and, the technology you're using and kind of explain what Greeneum is?
Okay, yeah. That's great. Do you want to start us up?
Yeah, so basically in Greeneum, we've been looking on the challenges of the energy market. We know that the energy market is going through a transition. We cannot rely on more on fossil fuels, and therefore we integrate to our core behavior solar, wind, and other resources which are clean, not harmful for our health and environment. And in this transition, many things between the blockchain technology and the energy market are very similar, and therefore the blockchain in a way can be used in order to help to disrupt the energy market from a centralized market, which is very regulated and normally centralized in some few points, to a market which contains a lot of producers and a lot of type of sources of energy, where you have a lot of nodes of producers and actually a decentralized market. And the second thing is, of course, the peer-to-peer interactions that we have in order to allow us freely to sell and buy energy from each other and exchange energy from each other. We can use the blockchain as a mean of exchange of value between two actors in the energy market and cut the intermediate, cut the cost of the transaction, and use smart contracts in order to increase trust and transparency. So in general, we use all the properties and the advantages of the blockchain and smart contract, and we see that they can be used to solve these challenges of the energy market. And when you try to combine renewable energy and blockchain, you need to have some kind of a new validation, a new consensus, a new protocol, because you're combining something from the physical domain to the digital domain. And this procedure of recording the energy transactions and creating you can say the global decentralized marketplace for renewable energy, there is a need for protocols that will be used in order to identify between valid and non-valid energy transactions. And we have developed and used the protocol that is called Proof of Green, which is actually a 3 layers algorithm that proves that you either generate or consume clean energy. And yeah, we can talk about it more.
So is this,
if you want,
a more energy efficient solution because
it's more like we are talking that in the same time that we are with this technology, with all these organisms that mention us up, we are trying to build a carbon volunteer market that we can obviously trade this carbon and to make more cheap. All the things, if you see all the mid-year or ONU protocol of Kyoto, that you can see how they make the trading of these carbon credits or certificates, green certificate. It's very hard it's a very pain and big cost to enter in this market, because first you need to approval your CO2 if you are saving or you are producing CO2, and the cost is very high, and then you need to pay for the trading of this bonus or these certificates. And with this technology that mentioned ASAP, you can resolve a lot of things. For example, to improve the energy that where come from, the type of the production, all those things. For us, it's very important because you can reduce the cost of to enter in the volunteer market of carbon, and it's very important to resolve the climate change. At this moment, the protocol of Kyoto is down because it's very high cost to enter in this protocol.
Yeah.
And we can resolve this cost because we have the technology to improve and predict all the parks, solar parks, and we are building on to other type of predictions that we can resolve if it's true or not true that what are in producing this moment. Okay, for example, if you can see in Spain for many years, the citizens of Spain, they trying to make a very failure system, because sometimes they produce with gasoline when they declare with that they have roof solar. Okay, and in this case, with our technology, we can resolve if that is true or not true. Okay, we can say that if they are making a lie or not lie in its production. Okay.
So you're using algorithms to determine what the actual source of the energy is, so you can tell the difference between a gas-based system and a solar system. And then using those algorithms, you can say, hey, this person cheated. They're using gasoline. This is not solar energy. So your system can actually use these algorithms to tell the difference. So when you apply that kind of to a global scale, now you can actually start tracking the different kinds of energy that are being generated and understand, who's using what types of energy and where and how. And then in your case, incentivize the production of green energy and renewable energy. Can you talk about, traditionally the blockchain is very energy intensive. Right now there's a ton of energy being wasted on the blockchain. Can you talk about how your solution and what you're working on, kind of offsets that or counters that?
Yeah, so that's true when the blockchain technology and the consensus related to the transactions, it's very expensive related to the energy needed for that. In Greeneum, we've been working for a few years already in a technology which is based on proof of stake protocol and not only proof of work. And in that sense, our ultimate goal is eventually to use a blockchain which is much more energy efficient, like based on proof of stake, and we are preparing and developing that. This is one of the reasons we've been choosing Ethereum. Also because the Ethereum environment is also moving to Casper protocols, and we are learning and would like to move with the environment itself, with the Ethereum ecosystem. Besides that, I think the main difference between Greeneum or green tokens and any other cryptocurrency, that normally in a cryptocurrency you need to invest energy. There is a mining calculation. Eventually the energy is consumed, and the outcome is a cryptocurrency that eventually is created and traded. In the case of Greeneum, so you're not investing energy, but you are generating energy. The miner is generating energy, so it's the opposite way. Some of the energy that is generated by the miner is used in order to validate and calculate the proof of green protocol that we've been discussing.
Mm-hmm.
and the netto energy is still plus. So the tokens that are created, the green tokens that are released to the market and created, are actually they contain some asset. They contain some asset of energy behind them, and the net energy of the system is plus. And this is very different from any other cryptocurrency, that you create tokens and generate energy instead of consuming it.
So in your case,
The second,
mining. Oh, go ahead.
no,
You want to know?
the second solution that we are trying to introduce on the market is about all the things about the prediction on AI, because if we can, with this type of token, that then reduce the energy that you can put in the system. You can, the value is the asset is the energy, the electron, okay? At the same time, with this concept, we introduce the idea to make a prediction, because we are losing a lot of energy in this moment in the world. And with this type of technology, with this type of token, we can make a very good management of the energy. And that's very
Right.
a very good, important goal of our solution. For us, it's very important to understand that we need to introduce a new market of carbon market, and at the same time we need to introduce new tools, utilities in the market of the management of energy. Okay, for us it's very important these two utilities to embrace a new solutions for this sector.
Okay. So ultimately what this does is, you're rewarding people for creating renewable energy. So now, unlike the other cryptocurrencies where they're literally, it's the opposite. They're basically, you're getting paid for expending energy to do computations. You're rewarding them for generating generating green energy. So with the green energy that's being produced, then you're able to track it, and then you're able to do additional monitoring and run your algorithms against that. So can you kind of talk about the benefits of those algorithms and what else you're going to be able to do with this technology?
Yeah. So the integration between machine learning, advanced machine learning algorithms, smart contracts, and blockchain creates new opportunities for the energy market. As Rodrigo was mentioning, one of them is the voluntary carbon market, where you can, of course, eventually create certificates that are used as a reward for the generators or the consumers if you want to incentive them to use green energy. On the same page, these algorithms are unique because they are based on the crowd wisdom, and meaning that as long as you accumulate more data, they are working by cluster recognition and able to very efficient also differ between valid and non-valid energy transaction, the source of the energy, and also giving real-time predictions of the energy transactions in very high persistency. And for example, how much you're going to be generating from your rooftop in the coming 24 hours in very small intervals of 15 minutes, or how much energy going to be generated from the wind turbine farm, and how much the utility need to prepare backups at each given moment, or which energy should be used. These kind of questions, these algorithms can give very clear answers, and eventually, as Rodrigo was saying, help us to optimize the assets themselves, the generators of the energy, but also the entire grid, the entire energy network. And it's similar to Waze. If we look on how Waze is optimizing the traffic market by collecting all the points of the cars, validating it, and deciding which way the car should go. In a similar way, we also use the algorithms of Greeneum to decide how to use the energy in every given moment in order to minimize the losses and the waste.
obviously the impact that you have in the grid operator that receive this prediction obviously reduce the maintenance of the net, and at the same time can predict how and when we need to resolve some demands or peak of demands, or peak of the offers, the supply of the energy. And that type of question that is very important to have in the world of the grid operator. We are talking about of millions of dollars because we are spending a lot of gasoil or lots of naphtha or lots of some hydrocarbons fuels that in this moment is million, and obviously the impact of in the environment. Okay, but we are not talking just about the money, because the market of the prediction can resolve all the things about the stock of the energy. Okay, yep. It's other question we have in the sector of the energy. The stock of the energy is so big of the market. It's a big problem. At the same time, with this type of prediction, you can resolve and make a very, very good management. It's very important to have this technology in the market, and you can improve your project, improve your generation, improve all the supply and demand, and obviously connect all the points. And that's important at this moment.
Yeah, the data collection component of this is definitely critical because, you know, there's so much data that's currently lost right now when it comes to energy generation, you know, where the energy expenditure is, you know, what devices are consuming the most amount of energy, and as we talked about earlier, you know, are people cheating? Are they running generators? Are they using gas when they're, you know, part of a green energy program when, you know, they shouldn't be using gas? You know, being able to determine all of those different factors and then having that data, you know, then does give you that predictive edge to be able to predict, you know, where you should be using and how you should be using green energy. And, you know, those algorithms can obviously play a key role in that. And you guys have been working on this for several years now. Can you kind of talk about, you know, where you're at in your roadmap, where you're going, where you've been so far?
Yeah, so it's true. We've been starting to work on blockchain-related energy applications a few years ago. And the first project we did was called Solar Change, and we had some first coin, which is used to reward solar energy. It was called Solar Coin. And through this activity of Solar Coin and Solar Change, we have studied a lot. It was before the smart contracts time. It was in 2014. It was before the ICO time. But it was a great opportunity for us because we had enough time to understand the challenges needed in order to integrate renewable energy to the blockchain and what needs to be done, what are the steps, what are the challenges. When it comes to the roadmap, we've been creating also these algorithms and applying for different grants and pilots. And we got accepted to a grant, which is allowing us to apply these algorithms into the market. We have one case study in Israel, which is a microgrid based on solar energy, which is a community in the south of Israel that decides to go off the grid, but rely on solar energy and storage. And we helping them basically sustain and maintain and manage this microgrid. Is a local grid operator. And on the same time, also big utilities, grid operators that need to manage millions or many users. We have a project in Cyprus where we help the utility to integrate high amount of solar energy to the grid, which is not so easy. And as Rodrigo was mentioning, there are many losses, and you need to prepare the storage in a real-time frameworks. And therefore, these algorithms that we are using eventually being discovered that are very useful for the grid operators to reduce the spinning reserves, the cost of the backups needed for solar panels, because of the fact that the renewable energy sources are not constant constantly the same. They're producing different amount of energy, depends of the available amount of sun and wind. And since it's constantly changing, there is a need of prediction system, which is very sophisticated and also very efficient. And this is why we chose to integrate the state-of-the-art artificial intelligence algorithms and to run them on the site and to run them on the server. So the generator can integrate directly to the blockchain from the field or going through the server. But this is already technical.
Okay. And are you guys going to be launching an ICO, or you're doing an ICO now? And what are you trying to raise, and where what's the future look like?
So we are aiming for an ICO, and the goal is to raise enough funds to develop the all needed elements of the platform and the features that could serve the energy market properly. Mm-hmm. And the first phase of the ICO is currently we are in pre-sale. We have in greeneum.net in the website, you can see the phases of the ICO. It aims to run in the coming months, where we release each time a very small amount of tokens to the market and progress with the development in parallel. And we show the community every benchmark, progress in the development of the platform, and also progress in the ICO. So the community can follow exactly what we do with the contributions and how we progress with the development and which new clients we are engaging. And this is basically going to be very intensive few months. Mm-hmm. And we aim to finish the ICO in the coming months. And basically the tokens themselves are utility tokens that are used both as a reward for consuming or producing clean energy, and also as a utility token that is used to purchase services from our marketplace, predictions, validations, carbon credits, and other products and services going to be listed in the green marketplace, which is a unique decentralized marketplace for the energy market and related to green energy, to green products. So it's a unique marketplace, and this is actually where the community can liquidize the tokens into products and services.
Do you have some additional
and other thing that we think that is very important? Mm-hmm. Obviously in a few weeks we can see the pilot that it's important to show the community. Mm-hmm. Another thing that when we start to read in this project with Asaf, when I enter, one of the ambitious idea was to create a project bank. That is very important because all the project bank that you can see in the market in this moment, the official, it's very hard to introduce your project and to make a very good management, obviously. And the idea to create this project bank is to use the cryptocurrency to invite the community of the cryptocurrency to invest in renewable energy and renewable projects. I think that is very good opportunity that to show very good professionalism to impact in this project, to invite investments. And obviously, Greeneum is just a connection between the project and investors. Just it. And we obviously we try to invite the community to see this project. For us, it's a very good goal. I think that obviously we need to introduce new tools to invite the investors to see new projects, to see the future. Okay, and that for us is very important.
Yeah, and you're working on a project, that has significant social impact here, where this is a world-changing technology. This gives people the control over producing their own green energy, and not only are you offering a reward system, but you're also offering essentially a trading platform that can do predictive analysis on top of it. So, giving that software, giving that technology to, everything from a small community creating a microgrid to, a large energy company on the island of Cyprus or, in a major industrialized nation, that's huge. So you're making an impact across everywhere, everyone from, the smallest village all the way up to a major city. So, this project definitely, I can see the impact that it can have globally. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your team? Because you've also got a global team as well. So, that's another interesting aspect to what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so we have the team is international. Of course, some of the technology was developed in Israel. When it comes to the AI and machine learning algorithms, these are algorithms that have been developed for many years by professors of math and machine learning and AI. And we are integrating this unique technology into Greeneum for the last years and testing it in solar. But this AI technology can be used for other sources of data sets or crowd or networks. So it can be used for also other utilities or infrastructure or any other network set of information. We have a team in South America. Rodrigo is part of the team located in Buenos Aires and responsible mainly on the activity on the Latin American market, which is also a promising market in the growth of renewable and the coming projects that are in the pipeline for the coming years. And when it comes to the US, we have a few team members also in San Francisco. Unfortunately, Edward could not attend today, but in the opportunity, you can definitely meet him, Trent. And Edward is experienced in the energy market, worked in the Bay Area with many utilities, understands the challenges facing the energy market in California, in the States, and helping us to engage more partners, and a team in Europe, where our focus is, of course, to integrate the technology to the industrialized market, as you say, especially where you have already growing population of renewables, like California, like other places in the States, like Germany, and other places in Europe, but also to use Greeneum technology where energy is mostly needed. And this is also social impact, but also important for us to use Greeneum and to help to deliver to a market which are growing and they have a need in energy and lack of technology, lack of capital, and lack of resources to help them with Greeneum to accelerate and grow these markets. So we are talking about South America, and we are talking about India, some interesting partners coming from there, and in Africa. And the beautiful things we haven't mentioned that you can use with the blockchain is also give people, of course, with the energy you supply them, other layers of services that can improve their life standards, as of course communication and education and financial services, where we know many people have no access to financial institutions and banks.
A big part of 60% of the half of the team is they are professional for this sector of the energy, and the other part is security, blockchain, and this match, I think that's beautiful, because we know the market, we know the pain of the market, we know obviously we have contact with governments, investors of this sector, and to embrace this idea to the blockchain community and the sector of energy. I think that it's very good. It's a very good challenge. I think that we can make a lot of things. We need to believe in this in these things, because they obviously can improve the management of the energy and the impact that we have in the world with climate change. And that's a very good. I think that is a very strange team because we are talking this 24 hours all the days and the weekends. But it's beautiful. I think that's
The
beautiful.
advantage that you can work 24 hours. This is the advantage, because when one part is going to sleep, the other ones are waking up and start working. And of course,
awesome.
it's important to mention that as a decentralized network, as a growing network, we're going to be having a bounty program that rewards partners in different countries to help us in growing the community, and affiliate program. So the goal is, of course, to reward and to integrate local partners in the local markets, and support the local communities, because we need the people on the ground that are related to these specific markets in terms of the challenges in this market, the language, the culture, and the players which are important in this market.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I can speak up a lot about green. I maybe I can speak like 2 hours, but don't worry. I don't want to worry you. But we are very proud.
Yeah. Well, I
mean,
go ahead.
I can maybe summarize in just saying that the unique thing to remember about Greeneum, that this is an ICO with a real asset behind it. And this is a trend now that we see in the ICO markets, and new ICOs with some asset behind it. And the asset in the sense of Greeneum is the energy, which is tokenized and validated and can be traded. And also the projects of the green energy that are listed and integrated to the network.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely believe in what you guys are doing, and I wish you the best of luck. I think this is definitely a world-changing technology.
Thank you, and we will be happy to update you and showing you as we progress some more results from the demo that you could visualize and very soon see how it all working and function.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for coming on the show and telling us about what you're working on. And it's awesome that you've figured out how to build an international team. Working 24/7 around the clock, trying to solve the problem of green energy.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you very much, friend. It was awesome to meet you, and hope to stay in contact.